come again, sir?
Senator, of course, it is very much apparent that the former president has this animosity against you. And he's very vocal about that even during interviews. Can you please enlighten us? Saan ho ba nagmumula itong or nag-umpisa itong animosity na ito?
Palagay ko po, dahil sa Davao ho, hindi sanay sila ng walang tumitindig sa kanya, no? So that's one. And another is alam niya na na-decode ko na siya. So kumbaga yung all the charade, nababasa ko na po, Mr. Chairman.
So would you say that this animosity has something to do with the Senate investigation that you initiated and conducted?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And even before that, when I openly opposed him during the campaign of 2016, Mr. Chairman.
Which happened first? The campaign or the Senate investigation?
The campaign started first,
I
Mr.
see.
Chairman.
So the first rivalry, should I say, or opposition happened because of the campaign?
Yes.
And
Mr.
then it was followed sometime thereafter by the Senate investigation on their possible involvement on dangerous drugs. Tama po ba?
Noong una po, yung Senate investigations, it's about the extrajudicial killings. Itong mga, ano po, yung involvement nila sa illegal drugs came after bumaliktad po si Mr. Las Cañas at nalaman namin yung inside story.
Please enlighten us, Senator. Anong taon po yung nagkalaban po ba kayo sa election?
Hindi po. I was supporting a different presidential candidate
I see.
in 2016.
So that was 2016.
Yes.
How about your investigation on EJK? Anong taon po ito?
2016, around July or August, Mr. Chairman.
So it's also 2016,
Yes.
month of August. And then you said it was followed by the revelation coming from Colonel Las Cañas. Kailan po nangyari itong kay Colonel Las Cañas, which prompted you to conduct an investigation on dangerous drugs?
Yes, around February. Oh, no. Initially, ma'am, when he turned as a witness, he was just only revealing information about his involvement in extrajudicial killings. And that period was a very short period because immediately the DOJ fast-tracked cases against him. So we needed to get him out of the country at the time. So then we only got to find out about all this involvement in illegal drugs by Duterte himself when he started giving the information as an insider, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, I understand that you are associated with the former Senator De Lima. What is your appreciation about the seeming similar animosity of the former president against Senator De Lima?
It's the same, Mr. Chairman, because Senator De Lima, when she was still the chairman of the Commission on Human Rights, investigated Duterte for the EJ case in Davao. And according to the testimony of Mr. Matobato and eventually Mr. Las Cañas, Mr. Duterte was really bothered by that investigation. He really feared that he would be made to account for all the killings he did in Davao. So eventually, when the opportunity came, when he was president, he wanted to make a sample out of Senator De Lima so that it would create a chilling effect among the senators, and it was very effective. He totally fabricated the cases against Senator De Lima, and most of my colleagues in the Senate then feared that whatever is happening to Senator De Lima at the time could happen to them if they don't follow his lead or be an obstacle to his designs.
Senator Trillanes,
Apo.
with all due respect, but I share the observation of the Honorable Flores with respect to establishing the veracity of the evidence, should I say, that
Mhm.
you shared to before the Quad Committee. Nonetheless, Mr. Senator, I acknowledge the efforts of having consolidated all those, and at the very least, I maintain that at least it could establish the fact that you consolidated, you were able to read, you were able to take possession of all these documents that you presented before the Quad Committee. But to conclude, Mr. Senator,
Yes.
considering the amount and the evidence that you have presented to us, how certain are you that the Duterte family, particularly the former president, Polong, Congressman Polong, and the husband of the vice president are indeed involved in dangerous drugs?
I'm 100% sure, Mr. Chairman. These were corroborated by other sources of information. And during our research, we were able to establish the background or the involvement of Mr. Pulong Duterte in smuggling cases independent of the testimony or information coming from Mr. Las Cañas. This is from the NBI and the Presidential Anti-Smuggling Group. And Mr. Las Cañas, again, as a witness, he was already, he went through the very rigorous process of being accepted as an ICC witness. He went through this weeks-long process of vetting and validation, and he checked out as the primary witness of the prosecution against Mr. Duterte. So if these professional investigators and lawyers were able to check him out, then I would have to follow suit. So we would have our own ways of weighing testimonies or the truthfulness of witnesses for us. And I would have to say that he's way up there as a credible witness. That's just coming from me. Now, the whole presentation I made is not to pin Mr. Duterte for these specific crimes because I'm determined to pin him down through the ICC. And that's all I need. It's enough to put him away for life. But what I presented is to shatter that false narrative that he peddled to the Filipino people. Nagalit talaga siya sa illegal na droga. So if you'd be able to research on this Minister of Defense in Mexico who, like Duterte, galit din sa illegal na droga, pumapatay din siya ng mga drug lords, pushers, only to be found out later that he was actually on the payroll of a preferred cartel. So the pattern is the same. Now, as for other witnesses, some of the lawyers here, members of the committee, kept on saying, what are the other evidence? What are the other evidence? So let us remember that the Duterte drug syndicate operated like a mafia. And similar to how mafias were destroyed, at least some of them in the US, isang whistleblower ang kanilang naging lead that took them to different pieces of evidence and witnesses. So yun po ang nakita kong value po kay Ms. Las Cañas.
Senator, one of the documents which you presented, should I say, or the information you shared, is about the huge amount of money received by the Duterte family,
Yes.
which, as alleged, came from drug money. Do you confirm this?
That is my conclusion, Mr. Chairman, because again, the way these syndicates operate, wala naman pong mga resibo ito. Wala naman mga CCTV na makikita tayo. Ito po, circumstantial. Lahat po because I cannot explain kung saan po nanggagaling itong pera na ito na pumapasok po periodically. Yun po, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, do you have any pending case against the Dutertes pertaining to this information about the bank deposits?
Meron po. I included that doon po sa aking plunder case na final way back in 2016. And as I mentioned, because of this plunder case that I filed in 2016, yun po ang naging basis ng overall Deputy Ombudsman then to request from the AMLAC documents, and that led him to issue that statement that the contents of the documents that I had are similar to the documents they got. So, sinasabi ko, hindi nanggaling itong dokumento ko sa AMLAC kasi nga po, bawal yon, pero the contents are the same. And that's all that matters to me as an investigator, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, please pardon me, but I'm a little bit confused. Because if you are alleging that the bank deposits are drug money,
Yeah.
then why plunder? Is it not that when we file a case of plunder, it should involve government funds?
Yes. Yun nga po yung sinasabi ko. Back in 2016, we were stuck in this paradigm na hindi siya involved sa illegal drugs. Kaya when the name of Sammy Uy was being flagged, we were assuming all sorts of things. Pero meron pong mga pumapasok doon, and ang information namin, part ng mga ginagamit na pera ni Mr. Duterte sa Davao is yung peace and order funds niya, which run into, at that time, around 730 million pesos per year. So similar to the pattern what is used by the Vice President now. So meron silang ganong pondo. So that was the early assumption based on the existing paradigm at that time. Pero nung lumabas na si Mr. Sammy Uy ay involved pala sa illegal drugs as mentioned by Mr. Las Cañas, then it shifted. We revisited the bank accounts and concluded that these are drug money.
To clarify, Senator,
Yes.
you mean to say that when you filed the plunder case back in 2016, your theory is that the money is government fund, particularly coming from the Peace and Order Program of
Yes.
Davao City? No, that was 2016.
No,
Davao City
Davao
LGU.
City. Yes, LGU.
And then along the way, here comes Las Cañas.
Mhm.
Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Which gave you this conclusion that this is drug money.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And this case is pending with the Ombudsman.
Yes.
Did you file any supplemental affidavit to correct this theory of your plunder case?
By then, we only had the witness testimony of Mr. Las Cañas, who was already out of the country and cannot be used as supplemental evidence. But we still attached other pieces of evidence like the COA audit reports, which flagged the ghost employees of Mr. Duterte at the time.
With that COA, with all due respect,
Yes.
Senator, then you're going back again to the theory of government funds.
Yes.
So perhaps I need to rephrase my question. Did you initiate a separate complaint with the theory that this money is indeed a drug money?
No, Mr. Chairman, because I filed it back in 2016. It included the COA records, the documents, because we were working on that assumption back then, Mr. Chairman.
The reason why I am asking you, Senator, is because kanina po nung maaga pa,
Mhm.
one of our challenges in the Quadcom investigation is how to be able to secure the freeze order.
Mhm.
And one of the offenses punishable under the AMLA as predicate crime is violation of anti-dangerous drugs law. And I suppose that if you are intending to file an offense, a case under 9165, I wish to believe and I'm inclined to believe that you can solicit the help of the AMLA perhaps to get a verified copy of the information which you are presenting are bank deposits.
Yes. Well, Mr. Chairman, the evidence I got for the illegal drug smuggling case only involved Pulong and Mansa Carpio. And I only have that information from Mr. Las Cañas, who is out of the country and inaccessible, uh, Mr. Chairman.
Anti-money laundering. I just asked Senator
Yes.
my staff here to check if Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act is included among those offenses considered as predicate crime of violation of AMLA.
Mhm.
So, having said so, they were able to verify that it is among the enumerations. So, I
Yes.
believe that this is one possible ground for you to be able to secure a freeze order if you believe that this will help your cause against the Duterte family.